So this is something that I've spoken to a lot of people recently about, and it's come up in the topic of conversation. It's been very popular over the last couple of years. Is more and more people getting into podcasting, which is what you're listening to now or watching if you're over on YouTube. And if you are listening to this, you can go and see my wonderful face over on YouTube. So please do. I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time, and there's loads of content on there that you can take a look at as well. But podcasts are a fantastic way to build brand credibility, brand awareness, also to give your customers, your clients, your prospective clients something to sort of keep in touch with you on. And it's a great source of content creation. I'm going to record a separate podcast all about content creation and is it worth putting your time into creating that content for your business? But this week's discussion is all about podcasts. Now, I started this podcast about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer actually. And originally, it was just a fully audio podcast. And time and time again of hearing producer Aaron knocking on my door and saying that I need to do video, here I am. Now, it has been great because it's allowed me to create video content as I am doing right now, but also it's been really beneficial in allowing us to get our name out there. And within the last year, we've had a 232% increase in listeners to the podcast via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, which is amazing. And it has been the biggest growth spurt that we've seen over the past couple of years or so. And I think it is pretty much down to the marketing that we've been doing with the podcast, which has been all about video and sharing these videos. Because before I used to, well, our social media team used to take the videos, take the podcast and just put a static image over it, which is great. But a lot of people, especially on Instagram and TikTok, like to see. And I had my first troll the other day, which is quite funny on TikTok. They said because the clips that we put out are basically short form clips of the podcast, like a little teaser. And a lot of people are taking face value from what I've been posting in these clips, and it's really funny some of the people. But anyway, taking that sort of long form content, and we do this for clients that have YouTube videos and YouTube channels, where we take a long form content, clip it down, and then use those snippets to produce smaller video content, which is great for your socials. It's great for your website and very easy to sort of publish very, very quickly by investing in a good quality camera, a good quality microphone, and some wonderful lights, which the people that are walking past on road can see me in and they must think, what the hell is going on in there? But it's a great opportunity to take content and then repurpose it for different things. Something that what I'm now doing is recording some videos to go on our new website, which is launching very, very soon. I know I keep saying that, but it is coming. We have probably a lot more content than I realized that we need to write. So we are very busy doing that at the moment. But I'm going to be recording a couple of videos, which is some of it will be taken from the podcast, but also some new videos that because I've got all of this equipment, it makes sense to pop a video on the website. Now, brand exposure and brand awareness. A lot of people think that when they are doing a podcast, they're automatically going to get views and listens and things like that. And in some cases, that does help, and does happen. But you need to market yourself, just like with any business. And the podcast, in its way, is its own mini business. Even though it's completely all through Nautilus, it is a great way to bring in some revenue, and it is a great way to amplify Nautilus marketing, my digital marketing agency, as well as me and my personal brand. A few years ago, when I first started this podcast, it was all about interviewing other people. Now, what I learned from doing that is one, those some people are not reliable. Two, it sometimes can be difficult to talk to someone about something straight off the cuff, and not everyone can sort of talk very freely. And also, I like recording these shorter, smaller videos and podcasts because people really seem to like them and it's very valuable. And I've got so much content planned all the way up until the end of January. And if there ever is something that you would like me to discuss on this podcast, videos, whatever we want to call it, please do head over to naughtynerds.com, fill out the contact form, and I would love to hear from you if you would like me to talk about anything related to business, marketing, or anything in between. Also happy to talk about gin and tonic or champagne, whatever you want, I'm here for it. But yeah, podcasts are a fantastic way because, as I said, it allows you to sort of amplify your brand's voice and give you that credibility. Because when you're talking to prospective clients, if there is something that you've recorded an episode about, which would be really useful for those prospective clients or new clients or current clients to take a listen to or watch, it's very easy to send a quick video over to someone explaining exactly what SEO is, for example, which is what we are doing now with our branding website. So you can then use that, reuse that content, and it also allows your customers to see the person that they could hopefully be doing business with, the owner of the company or an account manager or an SEO manager. And I'm seeing a lot of digital marketing, website design companies slowly move into creating podcasts. So I might have started a little bit of a trend there, I think. But I would definitely say that over the last 2 years, it has been 100% worth us creating a podcast for the business. It's allowed us to create so much content. It's allowed us to create brand recognizability, credibility, amplification. You know what I'm trying to say. But also, it's meant that we've been able to sell better and more effective because people have watched the podcast, listened to the podcast, then got in touch, booked a discovery call. And before I even say anything, they're like, oh my God, I love the podcast on so and so. It was really interesting or it was really good to discuss. Now, that is worth its weight in gold because just like with referrals, it allows someone to be pre-qualified. They already know what your pricing is. They already know who you are as a person. So they've already pre-qualified. They're already pre-sold to a degree because they know what they're getting themselves into. And especially with digital marketing, is quite important. So 100%, it has took a lot of my time over the last 2 years to create these videos, to create these episodes. But having a good person, producer Aaron at Urban Podcast has been amazing because all I do is record this episode. I send in the audio, I send in the video. He puts it all together. He does the clips that gets passed on to our social team. They produce all the content that goes out onto all of the Naughty Nerd channels, as well as my personal LinkedIn. And that has also been a great way to reshare those podcasts and put out those videos because my connections on my LinkedIn, which I'm super active on, really like watching and engaging with. So if you are considering setting up a podcast, I would say it's definitely worth the time. If you do it in a way that takes up less time, then 100% please do it. It's something that has really benefited Nautilus over the last couple of years. And if you do want someone to help you on that podcasting journey, I will leave a link in the show notes on Spotify, and I will also leave a link on YouTube as well to Urban Podcasts, produce the podcast for us and who are amazing. So thank you, producer Aaron. Well, there you go. Start a podcast as soon as you can. It's going to be great for your business. Stay awesome, stay safe, but most importantly, stay nerdy.